Hello everyone and welcome back to another Gloo tutorial. In this video we're going to look over the following. We have the WooCommerce Advanced Dynamic Tags. This allows us to fetch information, products by backorder status, catalog visibility, vert status, downloadable status, attribute value, product galleries and thank you page order detail. So what are we waiting for? Let's get into it. So if we take a look at our listing grid template, what we're going to do is create two images. One is going to be the flip box and the other is going to be a static image. And then we're going to use Jet Engine Dynamic Visibility to show the correct image based on if there is any other images within the gallery. And then what we're going to do is take a look at the price widget and then finally the Woo product discount widget. So let's go ahead and start building this listing template out. So the first widget we want to take a look at is the Elementor Flip Box. And what we're going to do is just remove some of this static information and just display the image. The background image is going to be a featured image. So if we go and take a look at a dynamic tag and set the featured image, and if we just control what this looks like, and then what we're going to do is use one of the images from the gallery to be the reverse, so the flip effect. Let's take a look at the settings. Let's change this to fade. And if we go to the back, again, let's remove this information that we don't need. And then the background image is going to be the classic image, dynamic tag, and then we're going to take a look at product gallery. What this allows us to do is select an array index. So what the array index is, it just allows us to cherry pick the image that we want from the products gallery. So an array will always start with 0, which will be the first image. So as you can see, the first image appears. And then if we select 1 or 2, as you can see, it's selecting the correct images. So let's tidy this up and take a look at what this looks like on the front end. So if we hover over the product image, as you can see, it's showing the featured image and then it fades into the product gallery. Now if we hover over one of the other images, you'll notice that it's just showing a blue box. The reason for this is because there are no gallery images for this particular product. So let's go ahead and look at how we address that and how we can work with Jet Engine's dynamic visibility to make sure that it shows the correct image in the correct instance. So let's jump back to our template and take a look. So for the products that don't have any additional images within the product gallery, we're going to use a image widget, and then all we're going to simply do is select the dynamic tag and set the featured image. But the magic happens next when we set the dynamic visibility, which will then show either the flip box or the featured image. So let's go ahead and jump over to the Advanced tab and Dynamic Visibility. And on the featured image, so the static single image, we're going to enable dynamic visibility. And what we're going to do is hide element if condition is not met. Now, what we're going to do is check if the gallery exists. And then the field that we're going to use is our product gallery. And what we're going to select here for the output format is a delimiter, and then what it's going to do is just essentially check within the array if any of these product gallery images exist, and we're going to do this by ID, and the delimiter is going to be a comma. So this featured image is actually going to hide when there is no additional images within the gallery, and of course we want to do the reverse on the flip box. So let's jump in and do that now. So again, if we go to Advanced, Dynamic Visibility, enable on, and what we're going to do is check if it exists, and we're again going to use our dynamic tag of the product gallery, and again we go into output format, the delimiter, return value ID, and the delimiter is going to be a comma. So let's update this now. If we jump back to our page and see what this looks like. So as you can see, when we hover over these images, they're still doing the fade effect on the images with the gallery. However, as you can see, there are images that only have one single image, and of course the fade effect isn't there. So another really cool feature that we've added is the ability to fetch back data from the attributes. So if we take a look with a simple example, if we place a heading widget into view and take a look at the dynamic tags, so we have the product attributes value. And what this allows us to do is fetch back so any of the available attributes. So as you can see, we've got color and size. If we return the values back as a UL structure, as you can see, it's fetching back all of the colors that are associated to this particular product. Now if we duplicate this and take a look at the size, the same thing happens. So this would be handy if you wanted to perhaps have your own table instead of using the generated one, so you can put all of the information in there. The same thing can be applied to the listing as well. So if we wanted to actually show this on the listing, we can place our product attribute value on the listing. And of course, if we just change this to a delimiter and we put the delimiter at the comma and just hit update. Now if we go ahead and take a look at this on the single page and then also on the listing itself, so as you can see, it's outputting all of the attributes. The same thing is happening here as well. So again, the point here is that you can really play with the data that you have and then just display as much information about the product as you want or need to. So another really cool feature that we added into the WooGloo extension is the ability to fetch information about products based on their status, so like a virtual product for instance. So let's go ahead and look at how we can query against that and then return back in our listing grid only products that are virtual. We can also fetch back that information to display it on the listing as well. So let's go ahead and do that now. So if we select the listing and if we go down to post query and select post and author parameters, and what we want to do is include posts by IDs. So if we select dynamic tags and scroll down, as you can see we have products by backorder status, downloadable status, virtual status and catalog visibility. So if we go ahead and take a look at the virtual status, we can then select the properties for this. The virtual status is going to be yes, and the output is going to be a delimited string by comma. Now if we update that and take a look at our products, so as you can see it's only returning back those of the virtual status, and this would be exactly the same as those of the backorder status, downloadable status, virtual status and catalog visibility. So it gives you complete freedom and control over which products you want to display and where. So if we put this back to the virtual status, and what we're going to do is we're going to apply a little label to the listing as well. So go ahead and update that. If we go to listing and then just place a simple heading widget in the top, and let's just fix the positioning for this. Some of the other styling options, so background type, let's make this Gloo blue and the color white, and then for the label itself, if we go into content, and then what we're going to do is just change this label to virtual, and then what we're going to do to make this show or not show based on the status of the product is going to dynamic visibility. If we enable this, show element if condition met, so let's take our condition and select it within a list. Field that we're going to select here is post IDs, because we need to find out first and foremost the post ID, and then the value we're going to check is the status of the product. So we're going to check if these are virtual products, and again we need to select the virtual status to yes, and the output again is delimited by a string. Let's update that now, and if we take a look at our product list, this returns back the virtual label. So just to prove that this works, let's remove this query off of the listing. So it returns back to normal. If we refresh our list, you can see that this is showing the virtual products in here. So again, this works with the other statuses as well. So if you wanted to have certain products on certain pages or listed on certain single products, you've got complete freedom and control on what you want to show and where. So that's it for another video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.